Well, with a bit of a depleted weekend, we still had some absolutely wacky results in the Premier League. This is Premier League talk, and as usual, we're just going to run through the results before I then pick out 3 certain games to talk about. So we'll start with Friday night. Nottingham Forest lost 2-1 to Newcastle at the City Ground. Great game, really was. Isaac with a double, a penalty, and a great finish. Really did well to hook it with his foot into the corner. Forest played well, but Newcastle, they're just the better side. They fully deserved it. We move on to Saturday. Villa beat Bournemouth 3-0. Brentford drew 1-0 with Leicester. Those are both pretty two simple results. Southampton drew 3-3 with Spurs. We'll come back to Spurs, not that game, but what a game it was at St Mary's. It was incredible, honestly. Wolves then lost 4-2 to Leeds at Molineux, and a bit of a surprise result, but at the same time, not really. Chelsea drew 2-2 with Everton. We will be back to that one. And finally, Arsenal smashed Crystal Palace 4-1 at the Emirates. So yeah, there was a wide range of results there. Obviously, there was FA Cup action, so Manchester United, Brighton, Manchester City, they were all out of it. They did not feature this weekend. Let's dive straight into it. We'll start with Chelsea versus Everton. I thought it was a very, very interesting game. Chelsea, they played well, but so did Everton, and it's two sides that have really struggled this season. Chelsea took the lead through João Felix. Great goal from him. Everton then equalised through Decore. The referee had to check on his watch. It was a goal, but just the whole time watching the game, I felt Chelsea were a bit lacklustre after they scored a goal. It was when Everton really caught them napping in a way, sort of. But you know what? Fair play to Everton. I mean, they did well. Chelsea then went 2-1 up again. Before Everton, Ellis Sims' final minute gets the equaliser. Great goal. We'll start with what this means for Chelsea now. Obviously, Chelsea, they've been on a bit of a resurgence after they beat Dortmund in the Champions League a couple of weeks ago. Chelsea. This was a bit of a surprise result, I have to say. I was expecting Chelsea to win, especially the way they swept aside Leicester at the King Power last weekend. So to see them draw 2-2 at home was a bit of a shock. When they first went 1-0 up, I felt this is it. They're going to go on and demolish Everton here. Never really happened, which was what I suppose surprised me more than anything else. And you know what? It's fair. I felt the game, it was deserved. Why not? I mean, Everton played well, and Chelsea, we know they're still in 10th at the moment. They are, what is that? They're top fourth on 49 points. Chelsea are on 38. They're 11 points behind top 4. We know they're not going to get top 4 at this stage of the season with only 10 games to go. So it's going to be very interesting to see where they do finish. I think they're going to get Conference League, but at the same time, they might not because it's all in their own hands. Everton, meanwhile, they're in 15th on 26 points, but they're only 3 points off the bottom. And as I said, there's a gap of 4 points between bottom and 12th. So the relegation battle is really interesting. That was a much needed point for Everton, and to go away to Stamford Bridge and get a point, I think is a huge result for that. So what a game we had at Stamford Bridge. The next game I want to talk about is Arsenal Crystal Palace. Now 4-1 to Arsenal, especially when we think about how we lost on penalties on Thursday night. We played a full 120 minutes plus penalties. Players would have been tired, players would have been leggy, players would have been feeling down. It just shows how our mentality has changed this season, really. I mean, to come back and put in a performance like that, obviously Crystal Palace, they lost their manager, Vieira. That whole situation, I think, was just a joke. I think Vieira's had some really tough runs. He's been away to Manchester United, Chelsea, Manchester City, and he hasn't won those games, but no one expected him to win those games. He now has to face every single one of the teams below him. So to sack him, I think, was unjustified. But they've done it now, and they've got to find a new replacement. Roy Hodgson is not the answer. I think they should go for Jesse Marsh or Raul Hasenhüttl. I really do. I think there's a project to be built there, and I think those two would be perfect candidates for that. I don't think Palace will go down. But again, as I said, 4 points between themselves and the bottom. So we'll have to see. But Arsenal, mentality monsters, really destroy Palace. We're 8 points clear now. Although City do have a game in hand, you want to get the points on the board. So I'm very, very happy about that. Saka with 2, Martinelli with 1. Xhaka with 1 as well. I mean, Saka and Martinelli this season have been both unreal. So happy about those two. But yeah, we move on. Final team I want to talk about is Spurs. Now, Antonio Conte, Spurs obviously went 3-1 up at Southampton. They came back to draw 3-3. Conte then went on a massive rant about Spurs. And what he said was very much basically that the players are selfish. Tottenham haven't won anything in 20 years. It's justified. They seem to have no ambition. And it's just it's not looking good. I mean, to be honest, if there was any doubt that he was not going to sign a new contract, I think that absolutely nails it. He sees selfish players, is what he said. He doesn't see a team. It's incredible. It really is. There are 11 players that go onto the pitch that are selfish and they don't want to help each other. It's just because they're here, they're used to it. They don't play for something important. They don't want to play under pressure. It's easy in this way. This is Tottenham's story. 20 years there as the owner and they never won something. I mean, the fact that he's still in the job, having said that, is incredible. But he's right at the end of the day. Tottenham just seem to have no ambition at all, no spine, no drive to go anywhere. And that stems down to Daniel Levy, because he has been in charge of that club now for a long time. They've had good managers. You think Pochettino didn't back him and he still got them to a Champions League final. They sacked him 6 months later. Conte hasn't been backed. Mourinho wasn't backed. He was sacked after he disagreed with the European Super League the week of a Carabao Cup final. I mean, it does tie down to the ownership, but at the same time, the players, they do have a mentality. There seems to be a mentality there that they are unable to win trophies. They are unable to compete. We saw it perfect prime example is the AC Milan second leg. You're at home, you're only 1-0 down, you need a goal. And it was just dismal. But anyway, we'll see what happens. That's proof for me that Conte is going to leave at the end of the season. I don't think they'll sack him because they need to get top four, but he's gone at the end of the season, I think. But anyway, this has been Premier League Talk, guys. Sorry it's a shorter one, just a bit short for time at the moment. But thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. See you.